Good morning and welcome to our Friday independent living discussion. Today we are with Lehigh County Aging and Adult Services.
You got it.
But before we get into the meat of our presentation, I'd like to welcome you again. My name is Catherine. I am a project coordinator here at Lehigh Valley Center for Independent Living. Visual description, I am a white female. I have black hair that is pulled back in a braid today, and I'm wearing an olive green sweater. And I'm coming to you from the Dan Wilson Conference Room here at our office in downtown Allentown. My preferred pronouns are she and her. I would like to welcome JR. But before I introduce JR, I'm going to do a few housekeeping logistic items to go over today. We are recording today's session, so we will post that recording and handouts to our YouTube channel. We do invite our attendees to turn their cameras on if they feel comfortable. We do ask, though, that you remain muted unless you're speaking. It helps with the clarity of the recording as well as the captions that are being done by Zoom to be more accurate for us. Speaking of, captions are available through Zoom. You can click on the CC Live transcript and show subtitles to turn them on. And there are two ways to interact with our presenter today. You can use chat to post questions, comments, reactions, or you can use the raise hand feature, and we will pause and allow you to address your question. If you're joining from a tablet or mobile device, some of these features may be hidden. You just need to click on the icon of three dots in the lower right-hand side of your device to access them. So as I said, we are joined by JR. J.R. Reed has worked in the Area Agency on Aging Network in Pennsylvania for over 20 years. He was employed for over 17 years at Central County Office of Aging, where he had extensive experience in working with older adult protective case management and many other programs. He was the executive director in Central County the last 3 years before he moved to the Lehigh Valley. He has been the executive director for Lehigh County Office of Aging and Adult Services for over 6 years. So welcome, JR, and thank him for his time with us today.
Thank you for bringing me on, Catherine, and to everybody here. You know, we have a small group, so if anybody has any questions, like Catherine had said, please go ahead and let us know. I'm going to go over this presentation on this portal, this caregiver portal that we're really excited about here at Lehigh County. You know, we were thinking about, as our demographic shifts, every 4 years we do what's called a 4-year plan, and we do demographics and census data and all that kind of stuff. And so we known over the last probably 10 years or so that our older adult population maybe doesn't get online quite as much to get their information and stuff like that. So there's always been a little bit of reluctance and drawback on how much do we post online and stuff like that. Well, now we're getting more and more into a demographic that will go online and do more of that. Plus, this portal is really dealing with the caregivers in those homes, which could be younger actually than our older adults. And so that's why we're trying this new product that we have, which is an open portal for caregivers in Lehigh County. The other thing I will tell you guys, Northampton County as well is also going to be utilizing this project. I've reached out to their director, Lori Greco, and me and her have had talks about it as well. And so that's another good thing for the Lehigh Valley. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and I'm going to go through a little PowerPoint presentation. I'm also then going to do actual demonstration of what the portal looks like, because I really think that's what gives the best demonstration, or give you the feel of what it's like, so that like if you're asking people to go into this or giving this information out to individuals, so you kind of have a feel what's on there, what they can access and stuff like that. So let me share my screen, and can everybody see my PowerPoint there?
It's on the left-hand side.
Yep, so I will get it started in the presenter mode now. All right, there we are. So Trualta is a product that, like I said, that we're going to use as an online portal for caregivers. It's a complimentary online service for anybody that has a older adult or somebody with a disability that lives in Lehigh County, or the caregiver can live in Lehigh County. There is no cost to these individuals. It's easier to manage care at home. So if you're at home and you have a very hectic lifestyle and you're caregiving, or maybe you're working, or whatever your situation is, it's a way for you to access online, get simple trainings and other things right at the tips of your fingertips, so you don't have to go somewhere or do that kind of stuff. So it's interactive e-learning. And what I really like about it is there's local resources there as well for the older adults and for their caregivers or people with disabilities in our community. So why use Trualta? That's a great question. And here's some of the reasoning that we're putting out there for people to look at and think about why you might want to use this nice portal. There's training at your fingertips. Like I said, they're 5 minutes or less videos. Often a lot of them are 2 minutes or less. There's practical caregiver tips and techniques right on here by trained professionals. There's organized lesson of library sessions. Other caregiver stories are in there. So there's caregiver stories that can get in and that people can relate as a caregiver, because oftentimes you can read all this stuff and get all these tips, but sometimes it's really good to hear what other people's stories are, those support programs and different things like that for a caregiver. There's interactive scenarios. I really like this. I'm going to show you that it's got a choice part to it where there's a scenario that happens, there's choices you can have, and it has scenarios to talk about maybe was that the best choice or not, and maybe other ways that you could look about how you could interact with somebody in those scenarios. Then I really, like I said, I really like the local resources. And the other thing that's really, I think, important is everything is in one place. So like, say you need help or assistance and you Google it, you don't ever know, are those people, are they paid? Is it vetted information? Are these good places? Are they good resources? And you have to go through Google and do all this. All this stuff is vetted. That's in Trualta already, either by the Area Agency on Aging or the company Trualta on the bigger picture kind of stuff. So if you go there, we've vetted this kind of information and you don't have to do that yourself. So this is what the login looks like. That's where you would go to log in for the portal. You would just need an email, and then you would hit sign up there down on the bottom bar here, the red bar. And then this screen comes up. So then you will have to check, I confirm that my recipient lives in Lehigh County, or I live in Lehigh County. And then usually you check one of these boxes here. They're over age 60 or whatever it is. And then it gives you access to the site then. And then really it's looking only for an email address from you and a password, and then you confirm it. And it's that simple to get into it. As well, there's like I said, the tools here, there's scenarios, there's articles, there's videos, there's local resources as well. And then I will stop the slide here. And what we will do is I'll give you the demo now. So I have to share my screen again. Where's the share? Stop sharing. There we go. Now I'll reshare. Screen. All right, can you guys all see my screen there? Great. So I'm just going to log in. You would have your email, your password here, or you could sign up here like I showed, and then I'm going to log right into the system here. So now I've got access as a administrator. You're not going to see this. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to the caregiver view. This is what a caregiver is going to look like when they come into the system. This is what they're going to see when they log in. So you can see it comes in here. It's very simple, very well laid out. There's a home, there's a learning library with all kinds of different topics there, caregiver network, events, stories that we can put up on there, and there's local resources here that we can go through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to a couple that I have bookmarked. I just hit aging here, and then you can see that you can filter, you can search, you can do different things. There's this tab here, I bookmarked a few things that I already wanted to kind of utilize so it's easy to find here. So we're going to do agitation, aggression, and article. So I'm going to pick that, go to it. It says that it takes 3 minutes to do this. You can see down here at the bottom of this, you can actually play this. So you don't even have to read this. If you can't do that or don't want that, you can hit play. The other thing that's nice here is this is also available in Spanish as well. You can pick Spanish down here at the bottom as well. Because everybody knows in our area, we have a lot of Spanish speaking individuals. So this is another, another thing that can be there for individuals to look at. So then this is the article. So you kind of go through it, and, it talks about when they're frustrated, talks about agitation. It talks about ways that maybe you could respond to help with some of the agitation, with fatigue, give activities. It just gives you a lot of different things, emotional needs, ways to respond. And then you can mark this as completed. So that's just one little article that's there. That's really a nice article. And there's a whole lot of these that are out there. You can print it as well, and or you can save it like I have to my my save bar, like if I want to look at it later. So I'm going to go back to my save bar. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to look at this video. Now, this is an occupational therapist that is, I think, pretty well renowned nationally. Her name's Tipa, and I will put this on for everybody to kind of see this real quick. It's only like a 4-minute video, but like it talks about caregiving.
Bathrooms are places that are inherently unsafe when somebody is changing in their abilities. So care partners, it's critical that we have in our heads what are some of the potential safety risks here. Number one, water. Number two, changing temperatures of water. Number three, surfaces that change from dry to wet. You're doing things with your body that could be things that, although you've always done them, they may behave differently. There's lots of sensory activity going on in here, and you're exposing your body to movement of air, movement of water. And so all of a sudden, you may find yourself not being as comfortable as you were. And then let's add in somebody's in there with you. It's the normal. So some of the things to consider to reduce risk and improve safety and reduce the risk particularly of falls. Now, all those things I said, you may not think are related to falls, but it turns out they could be. Because anytime we have a sensory experience that isn't something we anticipated or enjoy, we want to get out of that situation. And sometimes we might move too quickly and not really think about what we're doing. So a couple of things to consider. Number one, rails. We want rails installed where it makes sense to have rails. At a height, it makes sense to have rails. We want to have them for both getting into an area and getting out of an area. It's a great idea to actually put yourself through the mobility you're going to be using with your partner. A big deal. Take a look. This is called a handheld shower. This can make a great big difference when it comes to using water, because now I can control better where the water is going to go at any moment in time. It's called I have aim, as opposed to it simply coming out of the shower head up here. I can make sure it's only on body parts we're okay with. And if I add in the use of hand under hand guidance and assist, big difference, because all of a sudden my partner is in control. Well, we both are. I want to be aware that floor surfaces and temperatures of floor surfaces can also make a difference. So if I have a tile floor, unless it's a heated tile floor, I may want to make sure there's always something between the person's feet that's non-skid and the floor. Because if they don't like the floor, they're not going to want to move around in a way that's safe and comfortable. I've added something else in here. I may actually really need to adjust the water temperature, because if it gets too hot or it gets too cold and I'm making mistakes as the person who's having some challenges at adjusting it, all of a sudden I'm anxious, I'm nervous, and ow, and now I'm moving too quickly and not safely. Additionally, I have a couple of seats you might want to have in an area like this. One is a shower seat or a shower bench, but another one is a dressing chair, a place where you can put a towel across it. It can be a place that when I get out of the shower, I can immediately sit down and it's already drying my backside while I'm figuring out how to dry the rest. So I've got a stable surface to work from. That's just a few of the things that you want to think about. One more, heated lamp from above, or close the door, warm the space before we ever get started. Because frankly, there's nothing worse than trying to get out of clothes in a cold space. Some tips, not everything, but how do you reduce the risk of falling in the bathroom? Making sure the person you're working with is comfortable, you're comfortable, and you've thought about the environment, the tasks you're going to do, and what kind of support you need to have in place.
So you can see that that's a really, really nice video there on, and there's all kinds of those kinds of videos that are at the caregiver's fingertips. So then I'm going to go to one more thing here on this. This is called a scenario. I really like the scenario, the scenario thing. So we're going to put the scenario up. We're going to start this one. I think we picked on repetition. Try to respond to repetition for somebody that might have dementia or, you know, a scenario like that. So let's look at some scenarios. So we're going to choose a scenario. I'm going to choose Ron because I kind of already know, I've been through Ron before. So Ron is an 88-year-old man. He's pacing the living room and looks upset. Where is mom? She was going to pick me up. You know, Ron's mom passed away years ago. So this is a very common scenario that people with dementia or Alzheimer's or a cognitive impairment can have. So you know that Ron's mom passed away. What can you say to Ron? So here's 4 different choices here that people can look from. So the first one is, I'm so sorry, Ron, but your mom passed away a long time ago. Can you tell me more about your mom? Let's go look out the window and see if she's in the driveway. Did you watch the baseball game this afternoon? So let's pick this one here. I'm so sorry, Ron, but your mom passed away a long time ago. No, she didn't do that. That's not true. And you see the frowny face here. That means that's probably not a really good answer in this scenario. So Ron sits down and begins to cry. He relives the death of his mother like it just happened to him. The rest of the afternoon is full of tears and agitation. Tomorrow, he will likely be looking for his mother again. Ron seems upset. So let's try another option. So that wasn't really that great of an option. So then maybe we'll tell him, can you tell me more about your mom? Ron says, my mom is the best cook I've ever met. She makes the best mashed potatoes and she always makes extra for me. And you have a smiley face here. So then you ask Ron if he's hungry. He would like to go see if there's something in the kitchen right now. He agrees. You walk into the kitchen together while you talk about his favorite foods. Ron seems more relaxed. Let's look at some other options here. Then we'll do that. Let's do this one here. Let's go look out the window. Yeah, we can do that. Again, we have another smiley face. You and Ron walk in front of the window. You see that his mom is not in the driveway. There's a baseball game going on across the street. You point it out to Ron and redirect his attention there. Ron tells you he used to play baseball. You talk about baseball for a few minutes longer before you walk back into the living room. Ron seems to enjoy talking about baseball. And then so you can see that there's all these different scenarios that are really, really nice that I like here. So as I said, there's all kinds of different things out there in this resource. So the other thing I wanted to do is look at local resources. This is stuff that we've had them load up in here about our local resources here. So I know we have the Meals on Wheels guys online here in their room. So let's look at the food and nutrition one here. So we have home delivered meals right here. You can contact my office, you can get them here, or you can go right to Meals on Wheels website right here to log in, get that. We also do congregate meals in Lehigh County through our senior centers. So it talks about that as an option. It talks about SNAP, here how to apply for SNAP, local food banks, local soup kitchens, the farmers market nutrition program. So there's all kinds of different things on here, resources. And as we go, we plan on increasing this too. So I don't think I have the stuff up for the SIL right now, but that's something we'll reach out to you guys about, like what should we put on there to link stuff to your page and things that we would do for Lehigh County Office of Aging and Adult Services that would help us. So here's transportation. You can look at, it talks about here's another really nice thing. We did some videos that are linked to our webpage. So this will go over to what the transportation system is
Vision
like.
problems. Try adding this to a glass of water before bed. Every human has around 100.
We are actually partnered with Lanta Van. First, you need to fill out an application for the trips. These would be shared rides, and you would be picked.
So that's one of our caseworkers, Jen Gabriel. You have her name there. She did a whole video here that we have on Lanta van and the transportation system. So can everybody see back? I'm back on the transportation slide here. Yep. Okay, good. Perfect. So then it talks about what shared ride is. So it talks about how in Pennsylvania, 85% of shared rides picked up by the lottery system for those 65 and over, how that works, how the Lehigh County Office of Aging and Adult Services will pick up the fares to go to adult daycare or to senior centers, how to email us. And then it also has, I think, a way to go to right to Lanta to sign up yourself. It also has the video in Spanish here. Then we have MATP, which some people that through the SIL would know what that is. If you're on medical assistance, that's another program that you can utilize to get your schedule to go to medical appointments. There's an application to Lanta Van, how to schedule your trips. And then this is another transportation resource in the Lehigh Valley here that we can utilize as well. So let's see. Let's look at one more, but there's like, I have 9 of them up on here and I'm going to put several more up on too as well. Let's do legal support is a good one. So on here, it talks about legal support. Again, we have videos here in Spanish and English that tie to Lehigh County Office of Aging website. Then North Penn Legal is one of the providers that we utilize to do certain things for services. Plus they do have other funding that they work on. So you can go here and apply online, how to get in there as a senior citizen. This is the Bar Association. They have a low fee lawyer list that you can contact. The senior helpline is a line online that is through Pennsylvania to help people do stuff like that. And then there's the helpline that you can call. And then there's a PA Law Help that has different stuff on power of attorneys, living wills. And then obviously for criminal matters, you would contact Lehigh County Public Defender's Office right here, email them right there. So let's go back to the home page. And let me see if I can get to, now you guys wouldn't have this, I have this. These are some of the caregivers that have come in that I've registered. So I could like sit here and I can add somebody. So if I know somebody and one of our caseworkers here or intake workers talks to somebody and they want that, they can put their name in here, right here, send an email right out to them to their email to link and go right in. Now you don't have to have an invite from us. You can go right to the portal yourself that I showed earlier as well. And then once I have somebody here, I'm pretty sure there's a way for me to go in and send them. Yes, I can from here. I can say, hey, Janice here, she talked to me on the phone. She might need some help with, you know, different things like, you know, agitation or something. And I can go pick some things and send her a link and email that will take her right to those resources as well. So those are some really nice things about Trualta that that I just kind of wanted to point out from that point of view. I'm going to now share my screen and show you a couple other items here. Let me get them up. So share my screen here for this. So this is a little handout, if you guys can see it. There we go. A handout of the different topics that are there that I can also send out to everybody as well, that talks about the different things that are on Trualta, some of the topics that they have. You can see it's a very, very extensive list here. They even have music therapy kind of stuff and different things like that. Grandparents raising grandchildren. There's all kinds of different stuff. Safety and injury stuff, brain health, personal care, all kinds of stuff. Then this is a one-page thing that we're sending out to people that has a QR code. If you're more tech savvy, you can use your phone, go right to the Trualta portal right here. You can just go and type that into your URL and online to go to it. Or, you know, there's our email addresses down here, our phone numbers here. You can email us and we can send an invite out to you as well if you're interested in that. And then we have little postcards that we're going to put places as well that has similar kind of information on it for people to sign up and utilize this resource. So then I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint. So basically, Trualta is a caregiver portal that is a one-stop resource guide for caregivers. It allows easy access training to meet a caregiver's needs around their busy schedules. Local resources are available to point caregivers. Here's questions. That's my email address. There's the login to Trualta. And I think, you know, from my point of view, this is such a great product because sometimes we deal with a lot of people through the Area Agency on Aging and our adult services that we may not give them a hard service, but their caregiver needs and issues that they have. And then there's also programs on there as well, our programs that we can support people with, or other local resources can do the same. But sometimes people just need a little bit of help as a caregiver in some of these things. And I just think this is a great tool that caregivers can use in our community. So we're excited about it, and we're starting to want to get the word out to everybody about about this program. So does anybody have any questions at this point in time?
I guess it's a comment from Monica. Said it would be very helpful to have brochures or the flyers to provide to our clients and volunteers, and says great information. So
yep, we can get some over to you guys, Monica. Absolutely.
Yeah, I will say, so I've been tooling around the site for the last probably month or so, and it is phenomenal. So if you guys have not gotten on, give it a couple minutes. I know I have aging parents, so going in there kind of looking at different resources and whatnot has been very helpful for me. And just in general, you know, I think, you know, work at the SIL, we get a lot of people asking us questions all the time, you know, whether we're at work or not. And so it's a great place to refer them to, you know.
And that's what our hope is that we're going to get more and more resources on there that are local, that people can get directed to, just like you're saying, Catherine. Like, I think that's really key, because like there's so many people coming in our systems, we don't have enough staff to handle all this. And there's people out there, all they need to do is go to this and they will self-direct them on stuff. We're going to do one on scams, because scams are so bad right now for older adults and even people under the age of 60. And I want to put up like a self kind of thing on how, like, if you do get scammed, or don't do these things so you don't get scammed. And if you do get scammed, do these things to try to protect what you have remaining.
Yeah, that is a topic we've seen so much too. Yeah, scams, whether it's financial, housing.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have a housing one up on here now. Everybody knows affordable housing is a huge issue, but we're gonna put some stuff up there about housing as well on the Trualta site. Okay, that's pretty much everything I have. If we don't have any other questions.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any others. But you guys will have JR's contact information. I will send a follow-up email with the slides and the handouts that he provided later today, hopefully, if not first thing on Monday. So you'll have that contact info. Oh, I have one more message that just popped up. Oh, so Monica says, thank you for all the information.
Absolutely, Monica.
All right. Well, I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend, and hopefully we'll see you around in the community at events.
All right. Thank you, Catherine.
Thank you.